We all know how competitive the truck market has been, and Nissan is releasing a new Frontier model, but this time it's very different. This is very good news for us because as competition gets tougher, companies will try to be unique and actually answer our most essential needs. And that is what Nissan did. We're not just saying this because of the hype. This new model has so many improvements, but the key thing here is simplicity, and this will destroy all the competition. So watch till the end to know exactly why this truck is making shockwaves. Performance. The Tacoma has dominated the market for a long time, and we need a change because the new models are so overpriced and full of useless features. Yet we buy these models and their competitors are often pushed to the sidelines. So Nissan is taking a different approach. They're focusing on simplicity. They don't want to confuse you with extra features that you won't use, and by doing that, they can cut down on cost. The bigger and leading brands in the market, like Toyota, can do that because they can get away with it. They have a loyal fan base that buys their trucks to show off and feel good. But you don't buy a Nissan to look cool, do you? Nissan wants you to know exactly what the Frontier stands for, and they're doing this by making it simple for you, literally. They want to attract a specific kind of customer who needs what they offer, and only that. In our opinion, this is a smart move because they know their position in the market and what they can actually offer. But most of all, what this means is that the new Frontier will be more affordable, more available, and more enjoyable for us who would actually want it. But we'll get into each detail, like price and engine options, later on, because this choice of going back to the basics affects almost everything about this truck. And you'll be amazed by how they pulled it off, because we were. But as you might have guessed, the effects of this division are not all good, especially when it comes to the design of the truck, not the exterior. If you step inside, you'll see how this might have backfired on them. But that is totally objective, and you should decide what you think, so let's get into the details. Revival of the Hardbody edition. We've been talking about how nowadays people put Nissan as the second, or even maybe their last choice, but the brand wasn't always neglected. Back in the 80s, the Nissan Hardbody truck was a fan favorite, and many people to this day would want to buy one. So now it's coming back. It wasn't the fastest or the coolest by any means, but it was very reliable and fuel efficient. It was based on the same concept that the new model will be built on: simplicity. It didn't have many advanced features, even by the standards of its time, but it did the job you needed it to do well. But you might be thinking, so what other companies are jumping on every chance they get to revive a classic nameplate? But this one is different, because this isn't just another marketing gimmick. Nissan looked at what worked before and they're sticking to it. They did this by using the Frontier SL Ultimate package. This is made for those who want the best features and performance. It's a 4x4 model and has a lower and firmer suspension that enhances its agility and handling. It also has plenty of armor to protect it from rough terrain, with a generous 10.1 inches of ground clearance. This trim is clearly made for off-road adventures, and now they're basing the new model on it. We'll talk about the details in just a few minutes, but before that, let's talk about what caught most people's attention. Exterior design. The first thing you'll see is the dark accents on this Hardbody edition. The bumpers, door handles, bed rails, and fender flares are all blacked out just like the original. This gives it a modern and sleek look that has been on trend lately, but in our opinion, it works very well on this model. But the wheels are actually the most eye-catching feature of this model. They have a unique design that blends futuristic and retro elements. The 17-inch rim is paired with all-terrain tires for a rugged look. They're a tribute to the original truck, and we think they did a great job. But there is one thing truck buyers can't compromise on: bed size. On the base model, you can choose between a king cab with a 6.1-foot bed or a crew cab with a 5-foot bed. But the Hardbody edition only comes with the crew cab option. This might be a deal breaker to some people, but it's not the only feature that makes the new Frontier a mixed bag, like we said earlier. And we'll talk about the important parts like the engine, towing, and transmission later. Because first, we need to tell you something that made a lot of people angry. Interior design. Everything we've talked about till this point has been about its simplicity, and it continues here too. It has a large 9-inch display that displays everything you might need. The leather seats are comfortable and have optional heating and cooling functions. But the only downside is the plastic that covers most of the surfaces. This just makes it look a bit cheap, but it could also be a way to actually cut down on costs and make it affordable. But the new model also has so many other improvements. It comes with the latest and best safety suite package from Nissan. It also has plenty of space and comfortable seats fitted with the famous zero-gravity technology, which are very comfortable. These are not just empty words. We're not the ones claiming this to be true. The new model has reduced noise by 80% compared to the previous one. But it doesn't stop there. It has a new steering system, and all of these features combined make the Frontier actually great overall, but most of all practical. Even though some people might not like the plastic feel, that is just the price you have to pay. But now, like we said we would, let's talk about its performance. Engine option. This is the most important part of any car, especially for a truck that is made to be practical. But we didn't say much because there isn't much to talk about. There is only one option, and it is a V6 engine that generates 310 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque, and it doesn't use a hybrid system. Again, Nissan is making this truck as simple as possible. But this is a good thing because now we won't have to worry about reliability like most buyers do when they purchase a new car with the new, so-called modern engines that are just way too complicated. This just makes the whole experience much easier for us. You'll not be confused, and dealerships will not waste your time talking about each and every specific option when you only need one good and capable engine. The major reason and main benefit of using this type of approach is that it is often reliable and every local repair shop knows how to fix it. But it might not even get to that point. You might be able to fix it yourself. The main drawback of this strategy could be the fact that there's no hybrid option available for people who prioritize efficiency and reduce their carbon footprint. But this engine is still very fuel efficient, and this truck is equipped with advanced technologies that further improve its efficiency. And one more thing to note is that this engine has been proven time and time again. It is a powerhouse, and it doesn't budge under heavy load. But before we get to the details like towing and payload, you have to know about one more thing that has been criticized by many of their own fans. Transmission option. Again, Nissan chose to offer only one option, which is a 9-speed automatic. This might have worked on the engine, but it's a huge letdown in our opinion, and most probably for most of you watching. But it's not all bad because automatic transmissions are actually better for the environment and fuel economy. This is a good thing overall, and this truck needs it, especially since it doesn't have a hybrid alternative to choose from. But we want to know what you think. Is this a deal breaker for you? Towing and payload capacity. The new model can tow up to 6,720 pounds and has a payload capacity of 1,610 pounds. When we compare these stats to its main rivals like the Ford Ranger, it falls under by about 800 pounds, but the Frontier has similar capabilities as the Tacoma. Of course, all of this depends on you, and you are the only one who knows what suits you. So let's leave this at that and talk about the numbers. Price. The Hardbody edition has a price tag of $42,000, while the base model starts at $32,000. This is a very reasonable price, especially when compared to its main competitors. It offers a lot of value for its money, despite some of the drawbacks we mentioned, because this truck meets most of the basic needs. And while it may not be the cheapest option, it is very capable and well built to last and perform. So if you want to stand out and also buy something practical without all the bells and whistles, this is the one for you. We think this truck has a lot of potential to shake up the market and might even appeal to many enthusiasts and collectors. But what do you think? Is this worth it? That's all for now. See you on the next one.